The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We can't believe it, but next Tuesday...
Well, this is insulting way to introduce it.
No. He knows. The Cheap Seat celebrates 100 episodes.
No one
now
can believe it.
Tim McDonald. What?
I was going to say thanks for having me, but that doesn't feel like the right thing to say, does it? we can't believe it as well. 100 episodes. Normally at Channel 10, you celebrate if you get 100 minutes.
Yeah, well done.
But that's what people don't realise about the TV industry. It is so fickle.
Most definitely.
With radio, they give you time to breathe, you know, whereas in TV, as soon as you get one bad ratings, if that happens again, then you're out.
And the ratings come out every morning.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, and you hear the dreaded three words, special new time slot, which happens. So we're one bad show away from needing to introduce a cooking segment or rescue dogs or waterproofing. So we take it 1 week at a time.
You know you've gone badly when suddenly you're on the sister station where it's called Peach or Sister or Ovaries. On 10 Ovaries. You'll see them.
Here's the cheap seats.
10 Ovaries is a good name. We might actually steal that. We might write that down.
Hey, Tim, leading into that song, you did hear Natalie do a bit of a link to you and your mum having a bit of a tipple. It's so funny when you're in this kind of industry and you put things out there about your loved ones, and Nathan does it with his family. I mention my wife and stuff like that.
And now it's true.
And people then hear that stuff, you know, any side of the country and know that your mum's a pisshead.
How is your mum?
How is Mum? Well, she's good. She's just come off Dry July, so she's feeling a lot better now. Honestly, it just started as we played a clip of there was a town in Portugal where the local winery had an accident and red wine was flowing down the streets. And I said, that's Mum's ideal holiday. And one joke turned into two jokes, and now it's become this thing where everywhere she goes, everyone assumes she's an alcoholic. So she's a primary school teacher, and kids will walk up to her at lunchtime and go, "My mum says you drink too much." So I've absolutely ruined her life. Not as much as Sauvignon Blanc has, but...
This is the thing. I've not got no history of my mum drinking. My mum just doesn't drink. She's not a drinker. And one time I saw Mum drink, Tim, and it was in Bali, and she had Harvey Wallbangers, which, you know, you realise if you're not a drinker, that's basically like cordial, and that can sneak up on you. Anyway, I was that traumatised by what I saw that night. We all sharing a room in Bali.
Yeah, of course.
And she woke up screaming multiple times throughout the night because her legs were rolling up and hitting her in the back of the head.
So she thought,
oh my God.
That's what hitting me in the back of the head.
That's what Harvey Wallbangers will do to you.
And we're terrified children going, oh my God, what's wrong with Mum? Her legs. Her legs are rolling up and hitting her in the head.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
See, in our house, we call that a Wednesday.
It's easy fodder, isn't it? It's just so easy.
Shaun was bringing up, you know, your F1 podcast. It always puzzles me, F1. I'd love to be a person that could get into it, but to me, it's just driving around. It's just driving around in a circle. How do you find it so interesting?
Yeah, some people find it hard to separate Formula One and Uber Black, but honestly, I love it. And now's the great time to get into it because we've got a really great title fight. We hope that the Perth boy Danny Ricciardo can stick around for next year. We're going to have 3 Aussies if he does on the grid next year. So
amazing.
Honestly, it's an awesome sport. We love it, and we're in Azerbaijan this weekend. Which, if you can put aside the human rights issues, it's a great place to be.
Hey, Tim, on that, you guys find out different information and you look at coming in. I mentioned to you just off air before Adrian Newey getting paid a couple $100 million to design, and you know,
not
kind
a
of like
driver,
Nathan's background. A designer, not a driver. What are some of the other things that we wouldn't know that go on in the F1, like, you know, weirder stuff?
So
like
make it
that,
interesting
maybe?
for us. Is that what you're saying?
Other than the drivers.
I'll tell you one story. So there's a driver on the grid. His name is Lance Stroll. His father is a Canadian billionaire who owns the team, which is why he's on the grid. So imagine that. In his junior category days, they had so much money that they wanted to put on a party for the team. So Lawrence Stroll, the dad, chartered a private jet just full of prosciutto and salami and cold meats to travel halfway around the world for a team lunch.
Are you serious? That is fantastic.
That is how much money. That is how much money these people have. It's unbelievable.
What meat didn't make it? Mortadella.
Oh, a good mortadella from Bologna, Nathan. It'll blow your mind.
I love mortadella.
And if you've got a private jet, you can send it to Bologna to get your mortadella.
Yeah.
What's that fancy ham they have in Spain?
Oh, there's a ham.
That fancy ham.
There was a ham. Yeah, that ham is unbelievable. There would have been a Iberico on there.
Yeah.
I think there was a chorizo that was held up by border security, but apart from that...
A chorizo was caught smuggling something up its arse.
You did
Correct,
just make
ironically,
F1 interesting for us, Tim. So congratulations. All you had to do was bring in processed meat.
That's a good phoner. What processed meat would you chart around the world? I'd be prosciutto, guys. Any favourites?
Hey, so we grew up here in WA with Plony. What do you call it over there?
Yeah.
Strasbourg, Devon, what is
probably.
it?
Fritz.
Yeah.
We call it roadkill, I believe. It's amazing. So in the world of Formula One, Canadian billionaires can charter a flight for cold meats, and here in Australia, we can't even keep an airline running. So, unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Well, we can't wait for the 100th episode of The Cheap Seats. We thought they'd never make it, but look at that. They have. Well, at least fingers crossed for Tuesday. Thanks for talking to us, Tim. It's a pleasure.
Nat, it's Channel 10. It could be an episode of NCIS. We don't know. So you got to tune in to find out.
Okay.
It's a wild ride. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks for having us.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Officially welcome to the studio. I think I'm going to say our third tallest friend behind Sean Darcy and Greg High. Would you say? Is that accurate?
Yeah, but where's the tightest jeans out of all of them?
Liam Bartlett.
Come on. Hello, guys. Morning. How are you?
Morning.
Yeah, I think that's a thank you.
It's Are You Okay Day, so we have to ask, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, no.
Where do we start?
What do you want to
That's
share?
the answer nobody wants to hear,
Exactly. Does anybody ever say that?
But it is funny, isn't it? Because you do the obligatory, how are you going? And then when someone goes, oh, no, not good, and they start launching it, it's like, oh, I've got to go to the shops.
How often do you ask someone about how such and such is, and they tell you they've passed away, and then you go,
I know.
That's not a good one.
But it shouldn't stop you from asking if you're okay.
Yeah. Yes, the thought behind it.
Just make sure you got some time in case the answer's not.
It opens the conversation.
I feel very, to tell you the truth, if you really want to know.
Yeah, no, we do. We care.
I feel very sort of discombobulated.
Oh, talk to me. What's going on?
Well, it came in here today, and the whole thing, the whole place has been renovated since I was here in 1968.
Yeah, that's right. We've only just done it, by the way. This happened this year.
Leanne was the person that planted the flag of Nova on the barren landscape, which was
Well, I'm feeling the love, but it's been a long time. I mean, last time I was here, you were 21, Nat.
Yeah, and now I'm 23. You're right. You're right.
Sean's hair was actually blonde. It's been a long time.
Now he's like a curly head Richard Gere.
But I am now do Nathan.
Don't start with me.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Hey, Lee, of course we've seen you on Spotlight, and you had a big show last week, which was James Packer. I want to ask you about when you did the interview on the boat.
Yes.
So I was really interested to see what it was like on that boat, first of all, and how did you get out to it? Was it a helicopter or was it by another?
No, it was a. Well, we took a
tender,
a little plane, to the sort of nearby airstrip, and then we took they sent the tender out. And they said, we'll meet you at, the third grass hut on the right-hand side.
Yes.
And we said, okay, well, all right. And along came the tender. The tender looked pretty good to me.
Yes,
I thought, I'll take that. You can't go crabbing on the big one.
That's right.
But honestly, mate, you know how sometimes you think, this luxury lifestyle that people lead in that position, that status.
Yes.
It is amazing. It's amazing. But when you get there, you think, this is more amazing than I thought.
Yes.
See, because I thought it might have been the opposite, because I was wondering when you got onto that boat if you felt the hauntings of a lonely man, and also I was wondering as well, did it smell like a single man's boat? Like,
mate, no, because the skipper meets you when you get there.
Yeah,
you didn't see this because you have to film the other bit. You film the Hollywood bit, but the real bit is when it was a Scottish guy who's been the captain for the Packer family for about 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, great gig.
A really nice guy, really lovely bloke. And I said to him, gee, there's a lot of staff here. He said, well, not really.
By their standards.
No, there's not really, Liam. I said, well, what? And he said, no, there's 28 full-time staff.
And that's not, they're understaffed.
Yeah, and I went, 28? And he said, yes, but we're supposed to have 35.
Wow. So budget cuts?
We're down a bit at the moment. And I said, well, oh my goodness. Because the first thing they say, like, and I wore my boat shoes, you know. I went straight to makeup and wardrobe and said, I need a pair of boat shoes.
And some white shorts.
That's exactly.
And a captain's hat.
Well, as soon as I got on, they said, no, take them off. I said, but they were boat shoes, mate.
Yeah.
They're my boat shoes. And the guy said, no, you don't. You know, he said, I can give you a pair of slippers. Really? These special slippers.
We've got a person employed to give you a pair of slippers.
Yeah. Wow. And at the end of the day, you had to throw the slippers in the bin.
Yeah.
Or you can just go barefoot. So I said, oh, okay, well, that's a nice choice. But it was just, you could eat your dinner off,
another world,
the floor.
Isn't it?
Can I ask?
It was just phenomenal. But can I just say, because I'll be fair to James Packer, he didn't want it to be an episode of, lifestyles for the rich and famous.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't about that. And it was actually, he was genuinely doing it from an altruistic position, which I thought was fantastic, actually.
Well, my thing with that is just it just showed how much money you can have, and people think, especially in this day with cost of living, everyone's going, oh my God, if I just won lotto, if I won that $50 million, everything would be fine. But it shows, and it's hard to believe that money can't give you happiness. It really is hard to believe.
Mate, I'm with you. I'm totally with you.
But it shows it, doesn't it?
Well, the other thing is we sat down to do, we were setting up, because it takes about 2 hours to set up. People don't realise, news, you sort of point a camera, but when you're doing this long form stuff, it's a good 2 hours for the cameraman to set up all the cameras, all the angles, because you've got 6 cameras on the shoot, so your lighting from all different angles has to be right and all that sort of thing. So we're sitting around, and I turned to the producer, I said, you do realise that what it costs to run this boat per year is about twice the annual budget of our entire program.
Wow.
That's so funny.
That's just the running cost. That doesn't
just the
factor
running
in
costs.
the price of the actual yacht itself.
Well, I think it's on record. It was well documented at the time that he took delivery of that boat, which is about 4 or 5 years ago, that it cost him $300 million
for the boat.
It was an Italian. It was an Italian boatyard that made it, and it was about 300. And they reckon today, it's actually bizarrely enough, they reckon it's worth 400.
Wow, it's appreciated. That's amazing.
Well, also in those circles, for the people who've got that money, if they want a boat like that, they don't want it. They don't want it in a 5-year lead time. They want it tomorrow. So
there'll be some oligarch or somewhere in Russia who'll take it.
But he did say to me off camera, he said, mate, this is not, like, I know they've seen reports of this, that it's for sale. It's not for sale. This is not for sale. I love this boat. This is not for sale.
Yeah.
Hey, Liam,
it's good because I'm not buying it.
One of the things when you go to an opulent house or whatever the case, you go straight to the bathrooms because for some reason you want to see what that's like.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about that? And I want to know about the food they served you as well, because you've got to eat.
Yeah, you do have to eat.
Yeah,
sure.
And there's a chef, a whole team of them probably standing by.
No, the best thing is, I said to the guy, look, can I take that home? Because there's this little...
Can I get this to go?
There was this little tiny... And this is little tiny, like an old-fashioned ashtray, right?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. It was sort of this little round thing that was slightly raised. And it was portable. It was like Bluetoothed or whatever. And he just sat on the coffee table and he said, if you want something, you just press that. Just put and the cameraman, my camera is, they always in for a free beer. He said, what? You mean you just press that if you want it? That's right.
So it's the old-fashioned ringing the bell to get the servants downstairs to fetch things for you. But
it's unbelievable.
Technology.
Next level.
Imagine living in a world where if you press a button, people are going to come and bring you the thing you want.
Incredible.
That's unbelievable.
It's a bit like texting your producer to beg to come on this program.
Yeah. And to be fair, you did beg and it got awkward, so we had to say yes.
I ain't too proud to beg.
You sat outside of Commonwealth Bank for 2 weeks. With a sign saying, please get me upstairs.
We all put the window up when we drive
past. We'll look out the window. Special friend Liam Bartlett from Channel 7 Spotlight is in the house.
Special, not in a special way.
No, as in with special friends.
Yeah, thanks. Just checking on the are you okay thing.
No, we're okay.
Yeah, thanks.
I would beg to differ about you. What was okay to me yesterday was the presidential debate.
Yes.
It was thrilling. I absolutely loved it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did. It was great.
It was unbelievable. And as we knew, Kamala Harris just had to do one thing, and that is to bait Donald Trump. So
and then stand back. She didn't even have to rebut him.
That's all she needed to do. So this is the headline from what happened yesterday, where she was baiting him about his crowd sizes, about his rally. She invited her people to go along and go to one of his rallies because she said then halfway through people lose interest because he just rambles. He doesn't talk about you. He just talks about this random conspiracy theory crap.
Yep.
And then Donald Trump decided to answer that with this.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from television.
But the people on television saying their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Has somebody checked on Santa's little helper? That's all we need to know.
Springfield. It's a three-eyed fish.
Someone might have been eating a hot dog. But the thing about it, though, is that it never made the TV. These are all conspiracy articles that were online.
Yes.
That have been disproven. There was one woman that was 270 kilometres away from Springfield that apparently was caught eating a cat. But she is a local that's lived there for her entire life, so she's not a Haitian immigrant.
Yes.
Oh.
It's unbelievable, though, isn't it?
Not when you get Trumpy, mate. He just comes up with anything.
It's close.
Liam, you know more than any of us about this. So do you think, like, he concentrates so hard on all these conspiracy theories that Nathan said.
Yeah. But that's the Margo core, isn't it?
It is.
You know, he's playing to his base.
To his strength.
Oh, yeah. And also, it's just the emotion of, this is a guy who started in, essentially marketing. That's his strength.
Yeah.
In TV. You know, The Art of a Deal, right?
Yeah.
That's his book.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what he knows.
Yeah.
That's what he does best.
And he knows that the best thing to do for his core is to whip up an anti-immigration frenzy.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he loves the headline, and he delivers it so well.
Yeah.
I mean,
first they were coming for your jobs, and now they're coming for your dog.
And today, all around
What
America.
about your dog's? What about your dog's jobs?
Yeah, your dog's job.
They're coming for your dog's jobs.
Yeah. But all the headlines today, it's all about the dogs and the cats.
Yeah. The other thing that's really interesting to me for this electoral campaign in the US is the power of one particular person. This is Kamala Harris's running mate finding out about a certain endorsement live on TV.
I am incredibly grateful, first of all, to Taylor Swift. I say that also as a cat owner, a fellow cat owner. Look, Swifties, you heard it. We know that it's there. That was eloquent, and it was clear. And that's the type of courage we need in America to stand up.
The fact that Taylor Swift is going to be aligned in history with an election, is that not... That's the power of her in... This is what makes the electoral stuff that goes on in America so interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it?
I reckon that could be a little bit of a game changer.
Yes.
That announcement from her yesterday.
Yeah. And if all she has to do is say to people, register to vote. That's the other thing.
Correct.
Is you can say, I want someone to win, but they have, because it's not compulsory, getting people to actually register and vote is the key to winning that election.
You hit the nail on the head. In the American system, it's mobilising the vote.
Yeah.
That's what will win you or lose you the election. Yeah, absolutely.
To a generation.
Especially in that demographic.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Kamala's got, I think, 16.1 million Instagram followers. Taylor Swift's in the around 250 million.
I agree, Nathan. I mean, that announcement yesterday.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They would have been cracking the champagne bottles in the White House.
And the timing was everything as well.
Taylor Swift.
Everything.
Friendship bracelet.
The thing that frustrates me about this American system, we've all probably spoke about it for a long time, actually. It seems like if you got the coin you can become president of the United States,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
And we've seen people, Trump and Biden, who essentially the last two presidents, right? They seem a mess.
Well, but mate,
so how are we getting people like that? I mean, we're in a different country, so I don't really give a shit,
but again,
No,
mate,
it is important though because they're the leader of the free world.
Well, you know.
but it's the money,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's look at further to your point. I mean, this backs it up, right? RFK Jr.
Yep.
Yes.
So there's a guy with a big name. He's got all the, the title, the legacy, the history, and okay, forget the anti-vaxxing stuff. But he was going pretty well. But even he couldn't get, and he was attracting a lot of corporate coin.
Yeah.
But because in every state you have to get 100,000 people to basically
back
on
you
a
in.
petition,
Yeah.
on your own personal petition, for your name to get on the ballot. If you're not on the ballot, that's it. Forget about it. So you can't go up as an independent on the day without having your name next to Harris or Biden or Trump or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So he could only get so many states. So in the end, he thought this is impossible, and also the Democrats took him to court to contest the states that he did get. So
then he backed in the Republicans.
Well, that's it.
Really
so you
weird
can't
flex.
just say. So people say, "Oh, how come there's no other people, no other talent around in America?"
Yeah.
Well, it's not as easy just to get your name on the ballot.
The
as
system
it
kind
appears.
of prevents that, doesn't it?
It's
Yeah,
absolutely difficult.
Who propels you forward? I mean, those two groups we're talking about, Democrats and Republicans, because
that's the thing about
the
party
power brokers,
machinery.
Yeah.
It's
the same as here,
mate. It's establishment on steroids.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit like going back full circle to talk about James Packer. It's a bit like money, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if old money in America
Yeah.
is nothing like old money in Australia.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
right.
there's no
It's
comparison.
next level.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. And also the media play a role in that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Bloody mainstream.
Yeah, you know what they're like.
Yeah. So it's basically your fault, Sean.
It is your
I was
fault.
going to say Liam, but
What's happening? What's your next spotlight show? What's happening?
So Sunday night. Thanks for asking.
we're out of time. Okay, coming in, Liam.
There's the hand pass. No, just quickly. This Sunday night is a great story. In fact, for anybody, because we've had the Royal Commission into veteran suicide this week, showing that everybody's been let down. Like we let down our service, men and women enormously. This week, we've been working on a story for quite a while to bring it out to show people how we let down one particular war hero, a very decorated combat veteran, fantastic soldier, Aussie commando, and the way he was treated when he came home by the national broadcaster is just disgusting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Disgraceful. And it will give people an insight, perhaps, into the way other war veterans have been treated.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Okay, well,
it's complicated, but it's great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nat.
8:45 Sunday night on Channel 7. Thank you. It's always a pleasure having
Hey,
you.
guys, thanks a lot.
It's
Thanks
good
very
to
much.
see you again, buddy.
It's almost a tax deduction for you guys, isn't it? It's a charitable act.
The ratings have just went through the roof with you being here.
Exactly. We needed a hit.
we
That's
did
right.
ratings
The old
boost.
ratings booster.
Because I noticed your cumes were down a bit last night. Thank you very much.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
A couple of weeks ago, we got to check in with our good friend Greg High, who's doing a wonderful charity ride. He decided to go up to Kununurra. He thought this would be, because Kununurra's up the top, right? So it's all downhill down that
that's
hill.
right. That's right.
Yeah. This would be easy, of course, raising funds for A Stitch in Time, his own charity, which he's so bloody passionate about.
Yes, helping mental health.
Greg, how are you, mate?
Do you want the real answer or the fake answer?
No, give us the real answer.
Okay, so we have to officially ask, are you okay?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'm doing good. Emotionally, spiritually, I'm fine. Physically, I'm hanging by a piece of string.
I can see it in your eyes.
It's been today's sort of, I had a back-to-back. I had a 200K day 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And
Greg.
I think, obviously the adrenaline gets you through it really good. And then the next day was the worst day. I messaged Ainsley for the first time. I said, I'm cooked here. And she sort of just said...
Keep going.
She was like, what do you want me to say?
Nice.
What do you want me to say? This is the thing, though, Greg, because anyone can get through anything if they just think 10 more seconds. And then you reset 10 more seconds. Have you gotten to the point where you're doing 10 more seconds and I can get going?
Yeah, no, that day I've done many things physically, like pre-season wise, whatnot. That was the first time in my life I literally pulled off the side of the road and just went, I've got absolutely nothing left. And then I started riding, and I've moved 1.2 kilometres in 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Greg,
that's
I
tough.
think it's time to pack it in.
Greg, do you go on holidays next week? Do you need me to come up and do a day for you?
Oh, I'd love for you. Can we ride a dual bike? That'd be so much fun.
Tandem. I'll bring up a tandy from the Swan River.
That'd be great. When you're up north, of course, you're watching the road signs that say every 10 Ks they have it changes. So they're the things you'd be concentrating on getting back, Nathan, of what you're saying, 10 seconds. 10
seconds.
Yeah.
When I was doing the swim, I was thinking 30 minutes and stopped 30 minutes. But for you, it's the sign.
Yeah.
On the side of the road.
Every 5Ks.
Mate, it's funny. I didn't realise that until I was going to Sandpile Roadhouse, which was 180 Ks.
Yeah.
And so that was the defeatist. Like, I was like, I've been riding for an hour and it's 150 to still go.
Yeah.
And like... and then it gets hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
And so then I'd have a break.
Something else. Yeah.
Well, it's unusual. I mean, it's obviously hot, but it's been 44 degrees up in the Kimberleys.
Are you joking?
So where are you now, Greg? We didn't cover that off.
Yeah, I'm in Port Hedland now, so I'm gonna literally, as soon as we get done here, I'll cycle. I've got to go quickly by mine site. They want me to say a few words, and then I'll continue on to Carafa. So halfway through the Pilbara, it's blowing a Megan gale at the moment, so I'm hoping it's a tailwind, not a headwind. Otherwise, I'm going to throw my bike into the gorge.
Greg, the thing about when someone is doing something like this, I feel like people show their love and appreciation through food. Is anyone coming out with local baked goods and stuff during your trip?
No, I've had a truckie gave me a frozen Coke. Like,
how good.
They would have hit the spot at the time. That would have been amazing.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But you know, this is the thing, like, I am so tired sometimes that, like, even yesterday I had food and I'm too tired to eat. I actually tried to have a beer. I couldn't consume it. I'm like, what is going on? In 3 months' time, I'm going to look like Gollum, and I've lost sensation in my fingers, so I can't even type on a keyboard.
Greg, don't get permanent injuries.
So that's from holding the handlebars, right?
Yeah.
Just the pressure that you're putting on the nerves in your hand.
No, that's from picking these jocks out of your bum.
But yeah, I don't know, like the repercussions. I'm like hoping.
Don't do anything permanent.
The physical toll.
Greg, we want to
taking.
Yeah, riding a bike, we all know how difficult it is, particularly when you haven't done it for a long time. I know you have been training. I want to know about chafing, and we talked about the Hungarian glutes. How are they going?
And then we'll get to the salami.
Good. No, it's a chipolata, mate. There's no Hungarian salami. No, so I got this Befferin or some, like, it's a nappy rash cream. I'm lathering it like it's sunscreen.
All over.
That's okay. The very first day, this is the issue, Sean. Very first day, it was so hot. I actually got sunburnt through my clothing.
Yeah.
So I had and it was like bad. And so I was like, surely I don't have to put. I have to put sunscreen through it. So I had like a singlet tan. And so now I've got a sock tan, a watch tan. I literally look like I've been in Barbados for like 4 weeks.
Do you not like one of those shed walls where they've got the picture of the hammer where you put the hammer and then you take the hammer away and you know that's where the hammer goes?
You know where your watch goes, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Like, it is hilarious. Like, I'm the worst. Like, I have no tannage ever, and now I'm like, I can actually tan. It's because I've just been beating in the sun.
And it's being burned into you.
Correct. So that's not ideal.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
absolutely nuts. So
it's intense enough.
Yeah. So, but no, the chafage is fine. I just think now, like, I've got like just continuous pain, so the back pain is kind of like.
Hey, mate,
I have to laugh.
You know when you're halfway.
I have to laugh.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing awesome.
It's only because we're such good friends. I find joy in your pain. That's how close we are.
And
he does the same to me.
I'm looking at your fundraising, Greg. You've got a $100,000 goal. You're almost halfway there as well.
Yeah,
you're sitting at about 47,000.
So halfway there. So I'm pretty stoked. We've got a couple of engagements up in the Pilbara. me being an idiot, someone said, do you want to run a basketball clinic while you're up here?
Greg.
And I was like, I couldn't think of anything worse, but for a couple more $1,000 in the kitty, I'll take it.
So that's great. So along the way, if anyone's got any opportunities to, people can pitch their opportunities to you, and then you can get some money for doing it.
What's some odd jobs, Nathan?
Yeah. Odd jobs.
Yeah.
If you want me to
get him on the rake.
Yeah, like clean your toilet, rake some leaves.
You're tall, so probably the gutters.
I'd be more than happy to be a little spoon at the moment. If someone wants that.
So I want a big truckie wants to climb in the back of his cabin and be the little spoon.
I'd be more than happy to be consoled. I'd cry and nest it under his underarm. I would be more than happy just to nuzzle under a bearded, old, overweight man and tell him I love him.
He will do it, but only if they pay money, because we are about raising money for a stitch in time.
Not even money.
Not even.
I need some human affection. Yeah, 2 nights ago after the 200k ride, I was having a chicken schnitty and I started crying by myself. There was no one around me, and I just looked and there was this old couple and they go, are you okay? And I'm like,
are you okay?
Don't answer that till Wednesday.
It's such a good chicken schnitty. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And isn't it sad though when the tears they make it not as crunchy? It's not good. It's not good, Greg.
Hey, you need to follow this adventure on Greg's Instagram. He's Greg, then the number 4 higher. The link is in your bio to donate, because we need to donate to you.
Donate.
I kicked in some money to the other day, Greg, so you're welcome.
Sorry, guys.
And if anyone's got any, you can follow his track as well. You can see where he's going to go. Yeah. And if you've got a suggestion for Greg to make some money, jump on there and let him know what it is.
We'll check in with you again in a couple of weeks and see how you're faring. Good luck, buddy. Now get on the bike and get out there.
Crew.
Get on there, mate.
Guys, you're amazing.
Best up.
On your bike.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.